Hello again. I'm Reverend Chaplain DeJuana. I'm a hospice chaplain, and I want to speak to you briefly about spiritual care. The word tells us in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 15, I will give you shepherds after my own heart, who will feed you with knowledge and with understanding. And with that said, we have to go into the idea of spiritual care. When I see patients, a lot of times they are questioning whether or not I'm coming to convert them or whether or not I am coming to do Bible study, but I'm not. I am providing spiritual care. No judgments, just hope. Spirituality at one time was also known as pastoral care. It is an important part of the hospice care. It's also part of the hospital care interdisciplinary compassionate care services that seeks to support patients, their families, through their situations, their disease, and the illnesses and end of life process. So, what is the difference between spiritual care and religion care? Spiritual care is usually given in a one-on-one relationship between you and the chaplain. It is completely person-centered and it makes absolutely no assumptions about your convictions and your life orientation. Religion care is given in the context of shared religious beliefs, shared values, shared liturgies, and lifestyle in a faith community. So it's that in reach box that we're talking about when we're talking about religion care. I belong to XYZ church. This is my denomination. And this is what thus says the Lord pertaining to my religion. Spirituality deals with what is going on inside of your inner spirit that's driving your behavior. It is important from the onset to assess cultural differences in spiritual care, as well as to bring down all the walls that come from these differences. Remember, no judgments. Cultural competency is the ability of chaplains and anyone involved in the organization to deliver the health care providers services to meet the needs of that patient, whether it's a cultural thing, a social thing, a religious thing, and also pertaining to their families. As we're dealing with cultural competencies, once we start dealing with that and not overlooking it and putting everybody in the same box, we can improve the patient quality and care outcomes. We never make assumptions, like I say, no judgments, but we explore what the patient believes and we take the scholar teacher approach. We don't come in knowing all the answers because we don't. There's no one size fits all. The patient, the family, that is the teacher. I'm the scholar, and I am there to be a catalytic support to provide you the opportunity and the space to unravel, to share, to explore as you seek through your spiritual journey. But whatever your belief system or cultural tradition may be, whether or not you consider yourself religious or not, because you do not have to be in order to receive spiritual care. This can help you to find a way to find comfort in whatever's going on with you at the time. Now, we're trained to assess your individual needs and to meet each person wherever you are and to help you to understand what's going on with you. Spiritual counselors, we never proselytize or try to tell you what you should think. Rather, we are trained to be active and reflective listeners and to comfort people that we are serving, and allow you the space, the sacred space, to talk about and open up about those questions and emotions, and help you to find spiritual inspiration as needed. We also help you to conceptualize and plan your life after you transition from this side, and help you to put together a celebration of life and memorial service if that's something that you feel comfortable with. So let's talk about the definition of spiritual care. Spiritual in itself is a word that's used to mean different things in different contexts. But what does it mean in hospice care or in the hospital? In our services, they are designed to care for one's body, mind, and spirit. What makes you you, and also what makes you special, helping you to draw upon that meaning of your existence and the important relationships that you have in your life. For some, this may be involving a faith, a religious practice, or cultural tradition, but it does not always have to be. Because I have some people that'll have on service that only want me when they're ready to have the sacraments of the sick, the sacraments of reconciliation. They call me when they want just communion. And that is quite all right, because this is where they find meaning in their life around their spirituality. Now, while physicians and nurses care for one's medical needs, a psychologist or psychiatrist supports the mental health. The social workers direct the client needs to proper resources. As a spiritual care provider, as the chaplain, I'm specifically trained to listen, to guide, to comfort, to support a patient and their family members through their personal experiences of their loss, their illness, and their grief, whatever they may be. Now, the benefits to providing spiritual care to patients: most patients find spiritual counseling to be calming and to be uplifting. Once they come on board and they trust me, that's the first thing I have to do. I have to make sure that I gain their trust. Towards the end of one's life, because I'm in hospice care, it's not uncommon for a patient to experience changes such as intense concern for others. They may experience intense guilt. They may be into obsessive thoughts, confusion, feelings of isolation. Emotionally, both patient and the family members may become numb, depressed, anxious, or regretful. Spiritual care can help alleviate all of those negative thoughts and feelings by introducing positive ideals, introducing positive thoughts, positive rituals, helping them to find this positive experiences selected just for them to help them to facilitate interpersonal or universal connection through gratitude, love, forgiveness, and emotional closure. Not only can spiritual care help people to answer the big questions, unravel the big concerns and the humongous fears that often come about because of this journey called pain and loss, but we can help patients find peace and meaning and joy as they're going through their experience. Whenever possible, joy fulfillment is an important part of my spiritual care approach, starting with life review that guides the patients to identify their own goals and to identify their own priorities, what relationships may need attention, what makes them happy, and any final wishes. And whenever possible, to help them to make sense and be true to these things. Above all, it is my primary goal, in addition to gaining their trust and being able to help them to unravel the difficult spaces, to help them to find comfort and peace in the midst of learning to love, and also have comprehensive support that they need to make the most of their time together with their family and loved ones. So I invite everyone that is considering either spiritual care or religion care, just think about those things as they relate to you and what is more important to you, because this will help you to understand what you need at this particular time in your life. And when you are presented with spiritual care in a facility, maybe a hospital or hospice care, that you won't be reluctant to receive it, because we are not there to come against you, ostracize you, to judge you, to bring on condemnation, but to bring on hope with no judgments. So until next time, if you have any questions, please send me a message down below. Hit my like button to subscribe, and I will be continuing more conversations about spirituality versus religion care and those areas. So until next time, be blessed, stay encouraged, be in peace, P-E-A-C-E, and not in peace. And remember that this is a very good day, and Jesus rose and gave you fulfillment so that you can rise.